toxic masculinity of toxic masculinity.
Patriarchy?
The patriarchy.
Patriarchy.
The patriarchy.
You know what? What are you doing? I don't want to do it. No, I'm actually going with them to do it. This is the content right here.
Welcome to the CWC podcast. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the home of modern relationships, finance, modern dating, and much, much more. We do everything here on the podcast. We thank you for being here. Appreciate all of you. Give yourself a round of applause, as a matter of fact, for being here. Now, let's get into today's subject matter. If you didn't see the video last week, I highly recommend you go back and watch it because it's kind of a precursor to what we're talking about this week. It's a continuation of that topic that I introduced, which is the effects that modern feminism is having on our society. I don't even use the word anymore. I've purged it from my vocabulary. I suggest that you do the same because it is it's taken on a negative context, whether it's all negative or not. I'm not saying that it is, but the word itself has taken on a life of its own, and she doesn't even like saying it.
I feel like that's all of the isms. But yes.
She won't even say it to me. Like we were fighting each other on the phone. She's yelling, "Would you stop saying it?" Okay.
So abrasive. It doesn't feel good on my ears or my skin.
Yeah. So she asked me to stop using the word. That's why I didn't use last week. So we won't use it today. We'll when we say womanism, you know what we mean. Now, what are we talking about today? We are talking about college campuses and some of the dangers that await our young children out here on these campuses here in the United States of America. I'll be honest, in the last 2 weeks, I've become a lot more afraid of college campuses. What about you? What about, and what we've talked about, what you've read? What do you think now as you think about where your kid may go to school?
I'm less hesitant to send her far away. That's for sure.
More hesitant or less hesitant?
Less hesitant.
Oh, less
She's not going I'm more hesitant.
More hesitant. Okay. Yeah.
I'm more hesitant to send her far away. You got to keep your eye on him now. It's not the same. You can't send him across the country. Oh, she's going to California to school.
Yeah.
She's going to go to Nebraska.
Yeah. And with all her friends are there, you can't be willy-nilly anymore. You can't. We can't. Because we have actual skin in the game. We have children that are approaching that age where they're starting to talk about college. They're talking about high school. They're talking about these things. So we have to, take a real keen interest in what they're doing. And we have to have more of an impact than we ever thought we may have to have.
Because things have changed so much. It's a lot of in-depth programming going on there that you wouldn't know about unless someone brought it to you or you looked for it, or I didn't know until just recently. This is some deep stuff.
Yeah. So you saw the clip at the beginning. I mean, let's just start there. So I did that on purpose, just to kind of give you an idea. Those girls sound like parrots, right? They just thought the patriarchy. I play that on purpose because this is what's happening to these young women. You saw how young those girls look. I mean, these girls are 19, 20 years old, barely, like 18, barely, right?
My first question was, how did they have such a bad taste in their mouth for the patriarchy already?
Yeah.
And who gave them these ideas?
Yeah.
When where are the parents?
How are these young kids being intoxicated with this information already? Like you can see, I mean, you saw it. I mean, and by the way, that's the Whatever podcast. Shout out to them. I've been using their clips. I've been linking them in the description box. Like and subscribe to the channel, by the way. We appreciate it very much. I'm giving them their credit on this because I watched probably like 8 of their videos, and they have panels of young girls just like that who sit up there and repeat all this, the feminism mantras to you about, the patriarchy and the wage gap and all these mythical things that don't actually exist, but they've been baked into these girls' brains. I'm not even blaming them. Not blaming them.
Yeah, they're programs. They're just repeating things that they've been
Yeah.
literally programmed with since they walked onto campus.
We should stop blaming them, by the way, guys. And
Yeah.
listen, I'm going to go ahead and say that. Like, I know that that's not going to be a popular opinion necessarily in the manosphere
You're gonna
space,
get crucified.
of which I'm a part of. I know it's not going to be that popular, but I'm here to. I got to be objective at the same time. So when I see girls this young that are repeating the same, those girls you saw are just, this was one set of girls. Like this is a broad issue across America on college campuses. College campuses are overly liberal. They're overly woke. We've been telling y'all about wokeism. Get away from it. We've been telling y'all they're leading you astray. Don't follow that stuff. Like the stuff they're telling you is just false. It's a lie. It's a lie. Do your own digging. Do your own research. Understand that the stuff they're telling you, they want you to self-destruct yourself. They want you to implode yourself. They want you to destroy yourself. They want to make you miserable. It's a crab in a bucket situation. With that being said, let's jump into some bullet points. What we're going to be talking about today is wokeism on college campuses and what's really going on. So we did some research last couple of weeks, finding out what's going on some of these campuses. I'm actually going to share with you guys some articles. One is from the New York Post. There are 5 different students that talk about their experiences on modern college campuses. And I just want to kind of go through these experiences with you guys to kind of show you what these kids are facing. Because here's the thing. I think we've kind of forgotten, like, isn't this land of the free, home of the brave? Like, aren't we supposed to be able to think what we think and build our own opinions upon, like, when did we get to, guys, can you tell me when we got to the point where all of a sudden we have to follow a specific mantra that is laid out in front of us, and if you don't follow this specific mantra, then it means that there's something wrong with you. You're an ism, you're a something.
You're a something.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're doing to these young kids. They're telling them these things, and they're only kids, and they don't know any better. And y'all know it. They know it.
Mm-hmm. Of course they do.
They know it. Y'all know these kids are too young, and you're sitting up here expecting them to. Come on, man. That's why the previous video I came off a little bit passionate about this stuff, because it means something to me. I have skin in the game. She has skin in the game.
Behold.
In fact, I'm gonna shut up.
I send you out as sheep amongst the wolves.
You tell me, based on what you've seen, based on what you've learned, based on what you've read, based on what.
You have to armor your children before you send them out into the world amongst these vampires.
Tell us how you armor them.
Well, you have to. How do I armor my child? I tell her exactly the things that I know about reality, about who she really is, about the power that she obtains, that anything that she hears, that she needs to fact check it with me.
With you?
With me.
Okay. Because she's going to be exposed to. We're nobody's naive. Like, we know these.
I told her that while she's in school, that it's information that they need you to know and to be able to regurgitate and do that and regurgitate it back to them so that you achieve the grade. But know that there's information that they're teaching you just so that you can navigate out here in the matrix as they want you to. And a lot of the information we've come to realize is not 100% true. A lot of history has already been proven. We know this now. Mm-hmm. A lot of things that they teach us in school is just indoctrinations. It's not 100% true. Do your own research and you can come to your own conclusion. So fact check with me. Mm-hmm. I know.
Okay. So you take an active role, in other words, because guys, parents, if you're still on the sidelines, get off. You can't be on the sideline anymore. It's not allowed. If you have children, get up. You now have to be involved. You do not have the luxury of they'll figure it out. Their information.
If you leave them to figure it out, the powers that be in the matrix will figure it out for them. They'll download the information when you should have before you release them into the wild.
Yes. Great way to put it. With that being said, let's jump into some bullet points. Now, What I'm going to share with you guys, first of all, is I'm going to bring up this article. This is actually from the, actually I have the article pulled up already. Let me share it with you guys. You will be seeing my screen momentarily. So there you go. Now what this says here, this is from the New York Post. This is an article that basically the title of it is 5 college students speak out. We're fed up with campus wokeness. What did I tell y'all about wokeness last week?
Go woke, go broke.
Come on. Let everyone should be migrating away from wokeness at this point. Like if you're not migrating away from it at this point and you're still buying into it at this point, come on. They've already revealed the hand. We know what they're doing. So do you. Let's migrate away from it. With that being said, let's listen to these students who have had experiences. I'm just going to kind of paraphrase what they've been through. So this gentleman is Abigail Anthony, 21 years old, goes to Princeton University, majoring in politics. Now, this particular young lady, so she's lived in mostly liberal states, blue states, Michigan, California, New Jersey. They're very, very blue states, by the way. We don't get in politics yet. There you go. Es mi hermana for sure. Por supuesto. Basically, she's from a conservative background, but she grew up in liberal states. So being at Princeton, she talks about how she says here, and I quote, "When I entered university, I was generally shocked by the pervasiveness of wokeness on the campus. Our freshman orientation mandated attendance, where essentially they were indoctrination sessions. They had something called the Safer Sexpo, which gave out condoms, sex toys, and informed young ladies where they could receive abortion pills." Now, I don't have a problem with that necessarily, because they know that these kids are coming on campuses and they know what's going to happen, right? But what she found odd, and what I also found odd, is they didn't offer anything else.
They didn't have a counter to that for those that maybe choose not to partake in this kind of activity at all. Is there a group for us?
And when she brought that up, they were all looking at her like this. You're not going to participate?
We'll give you some condoms.
Because that's what they do. They create groups and then make you feel like you're part of a group. And come on, we've been there before. There's a whole group of kids over here.
We'll give you a list of numbers in case you get in trouble and you can take care of it.
Yeah. So she talks about that. Obviously, he talks about here how she's from a Catholic background. In other words, she's conservative. And she was a little bit shocked at the aggressiveness of the sex education aspect. This gentleman, Christopher Wells, he goes to the University of British Columbia. He's 21, classical studies. I'm going to paraphrase through some of the stuff that he talks about here. This is the gentleman that made, let me see if he's the one who made the actual post. He made a social media post. Yes. So during the George Floyd protest, which everybody's intimately aware of that, he actually put a post out on Instagram where he felt it was a unifying message. He said the greatest revolutionary act you can commit right now is the refusal to hate your fellow Americans. Does anybody see anything wrong with that? Do you see anything wrong with that?
I had to read it 3 times because I was trying to figure out what was wrong with it. Mm-hmm. And I even asked you, so the greatest revolutionary act you can commit is refusal to hate your fellow American. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's wrong with that?
Yes. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen, but I wanted to leave it up there long enough for the rest of you guys to read it. Because when you read it, it actually has a little bit more impact, right? I don't see anything wrong.
I had to say it several times to find fault in the statement. So What was wrong with that?
So he made that, and he says, a prominent campus activist took to social media to accuse me of being racist, and even went as far as to threaten the reputation of those who lived and associated themselves with me. For what? For what? So this young man who you just read it. What was wrong with what he said?
I don't know. I still.
But he was felt to feel like an outcast. He was felt to feel what? Is this what we're doing now, people?
Because what? He didn't go, what is it? He didn't go along with what?
They wanted him to chime in on the white supremacy narrative.
Oh, that's
They wanted him to chime in and say, "Oh, it's white supremacy. It's that. See, they've been
Is that
doing this
him in the picture?
and
there?
all of these things." Yes.
So he should have been chiming in. Look,
He should have been chiming in because he's Hispanic, right? So it's like, hey, well, you chime in, right? See, what we've done is that we've ended up telling these kids that they're not allowed to think for themselves. And some of y'all are doing this too. Some of the adults, y'all not thinking for yourself either. Y'all are sitting up here listening to what people are telling y'all to think. Tell me I'm wrong.
they are.
I'm just saying, guys, listen.
Yeah. And then if you do decide that you want to do your own research and be different and just choose to think differently, people call you things like a Trumpster or a racist or I don't know. I mean, those are the two worst ones, isn't it? Because you don't agree with the narrative.
Yeah, like that. I got that treatment. I got that treatment from friends of mine where I was like, because I wasn't going along with the woke narrative, and I was like, hold on, I don't see it that way. Am I allowed to not see it that way? Must I see it that way? Right? But there were people who were like, you're the worst person in the world. You don't believe it.
Because you're insensitive.
And I'm sitting there looking at you like, you do? What are y'all doing? I was confused. I was calling you. Like, what are these people talking about? Like, are you having the same problem?
So the thing for me is that liberalism, and this is liberalism on campuses, it's extra liberties with the children, giving them, and a lot of things have gotten I keep telling people they've gotten way too liberal for me.
I mean, listen, y'all tell me in the comments. Like, if I'm wrong, tell me. Like, if you think, if I'm off base, like if you think that, like, because the only way you can really disagree with me and what I'm saying here is if you agree that you must follow a specific subset of preordained information. That's the only way. Because if you're telling somebody that you're free of thought, think for yourself, critical thinking, then you wouldn't be shaming these people for this. You wouldn't be upset. This young gentleman here, this young gentleman's name is, and I'm going to leave the link in the description. You can read it. Don't take my word for it. I tell y'all all the time, don't believe me, but go read the information. It's in the description box. So this gentleman, Christopher Reyes, I wonder what his nationality is. He goes to Allegheny College. He's 20 years old. He's studying economics. He's from Norwalk, Connecticut. He says here, he's a son of immigrants and parents. He's a first-generation college student. His father immigrated from El Salvador. His mother is from the Philippines. How's that for diversity? People.
Yeah.
All y'all folks running around talking about diversity, how's that? Does that work?
Get even more
Okay.
diversified. He's Republican.
And he happens to be a member of the Young Republican chapter on his campus. It's okay if you're not Republican. It's fine. He's not asking you to be, right? So then let me ask you, so then why they asked him, he did a speech, Young Republican, they have functions on campus. People came up to him afterwards. Why are you a Republican? Aren't you Hispanic? Is what they asked him. He says, yes, I am Hispanic, but that doesn't and shouldn't dictate my personal beliefs. What's wrong with that, guys?
Is that racial profiling?
What's the matter with that? And
But is it?
It is racial profiling. So you're basically telling this man, because you're Hispanic, how are you Republican? You must be Democrat. You can't be Republican. It's impossible. Why? That's all I'm asking. I'm an independent. I'll show you my card. I'm a registered independent. I don't subscribe to either side.
Me too.
But if you do, that's fine. I'm not going to sit there and tell you, oh my God, let's kill this person because this is where y'all lose me. This is where I get upset. I can't go along with the bullying aspect and the whole, you're going to be like this. I'm not rocking with that. I'm not doing it. So, matter of fact, this young gentleman, he was denied the opportunity to represent his school at the 9/11 memorial because he was a Republican.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
tell me again how we can come together if we're constantly dividing folks. And that goes into when we talk about college campuses, when we talk about this stuff, we're putting an awful lot of pressure on these young kids, and then we're expecting them to just come out okay.
No.
Does that make sense?
You have to armor your child before you send them out amongst the sheep amongst the wolves. And then the programs, the feminisms and the wokeisms and all the isms are going to attach itself to your child. And then when your kid comes to visit you at Christmas, you're going to say, I don't know my kid.
We've heard these stories. So what I'm saying to you, parents, what I'm saying to you, fathers, is that it's up to us to take a more active role. We know what's going on. We see what's going on. Listen, again, I'm not on either side of the political spectrum. I mean, people can accuse me of whatever they want. I don't care. Right. But I, at the end of the day, I know what it is. And if you want to label me some certain kind of way because I don't go along with your narrative, go ahead. I'll wear it proudly. But I'm going to teach my kids that you don't have to go along with any narrative if it doesn't feel right here. And if you're in doubt, talk to me, which is what you just said.
There you go.
We need to do this, parents. Let's step up and do this. Because if we leave it up to the system, it's a wrap.
You won't know your kid.
It's a wrap. It's all over. You'll be sitting up there, I don't know what happened with my kid.
I don't know my kid. I don't know who this person is.
College.
Yeah.
That's what we'll be doing. And then why do we always act like we don't know what happened? Why do we do that? You know we do that? The people who do that, they know they didn't do their job, and then they sit up there, I don't know what happened. You know what you did or didn't do?
Lack of input. You didn't build a good foundation.
Come on, man. Listen.
They want to hear it from you. They want to hear it from their parent before anybody. And if you don't, then they're just an open wound. Mm-hmm. And anybody can deposit any kind of seeds within them.
So, if the question is Hassan passionate about this topic? Yes, he is. Should Hassan be passionate about this topic? I hope you're passionate too. As a matter of fact, I expect comments. I expect people to say, man, this is crazy. I didn't know this stuff was going on, because I'm not here campaigning for any sides. I'm campaigning for our young ones and that guidance that they're going to need coming out here. Because at least when we came out here, if you're our age, we came out here without phones in our pockets. We came out here at least with a fighting chance, where we had to go to camp, right, and meet somebody and walk over and actually speak to them and talk to them. These kids don't even do that. They have a phone already. They don't even know how to talk to people.
The information is a download away.
I mean, come on, man. If like I said, you disagree with me, that's fine. Put it in the comment section. Tell me I'm wrong. Say you don't know what you're talking about. Cool. We'll have the discussion. But because I'm not here to brainwash nobody. I'm just here to provide information, and then based on the information, how can we move forward? How can we help all of us grow as a society? Because I think what's happening, society's decaying. It's a spiritual war. I told you that.
Spiritual warfare. It's all by design. There are things going on years ahead of us, and these are plans. So you have to plan accordingly and be ahead of your household, be in charge of your children, be aware, be cognizant, take an active role, do your research so that your child, when your kid comes to you, then you can add to or debunk or clarify whatever needs to be done so that you can send them off armored well, and you have put immovable programs inside of them. Immovable. They cannot be deleted, no matter where they go, no matter who talks to them, because you're that powerful, that they have a connection with you. I want to hear it from you. So do it. Don't let anybody else do it, because they will.
And I wasn't implying on the last video that it's just fathers that need to get involved. Mothers need to be very involved. I mean, here's the thing, guys. Society is out there telling y'all this stuff, and y'all are believing it. They're telling you can do it by yourself. They're telling the man that they don't need the woman. They're telling the woman that they don't need the man. They're lying to you. They're setting you up for failure on purpose, and y'all are falling for it. Y'all are falling for it. They're telling you that you don't need a man. Oh, we just give me the sperm. I don't need no man. I can do it all myself. Can you? Do we see what's happening in society? Y'all still believe that? And men, do y'all think you can do it without women? We don't even say that. Like we never mind. Never mind, guys. We don't say that. Never mind. We don't even say that. That's women that do that. We never say that. We be like, we don't. Yeah, we do.
I think that's
yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. I mean, at the end of the day, every dude concedes. Like, yeah, we kind of do. Yeah. Women, y'all don't even know. Yeah, women have no idea what their power is. Y'all give y'all's power up so easy. Y'all give it up so easy. It's crazy to me. Like, I watch it from afar. Like, what are they doing? What are they doing?
Well, they don't know. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
That's what she had to tell. She tells me that all the time because she has to, because sometimes I get frustrated and she has to bring me back and say, listen, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know. And I have to put myself back like, yeah, because there was a time I didn't know what I was doing. So I get it. I'm old now. I'm a classic man. Come on, man. I'm a classic man here. Let's go. That's starting to catch on. I've had people text me, I'm a classic man. I'm starting to.
Classic man shirts coming soon.
I'm a classic man. You know what I'm saying? I know we're out of style and all that, but hey, I'm a classic man. Anyway, with all we've talked about, I'm going to share. I did a lot of talking, but I'm going to share another article with you guys. I'll leave it in the description box. I won't share the screen, but this is actually a gentleman who came from India, and he was shocked with what he found out. Because remember, that when you come from, now imagine coming from another culture over here.
Yeah,
like
pretty shocking.
You come over here from another culture, and you like, what the hell are you doing over here? The dude is in the dorm room like this.
Is it like going to Amsterdam?
Yeah, it's probably something like that. Like, it's shocking.
That's what I think of. I'm like, is it like Amsterdam, which I've never been to, but I've heard stories, right? Crazy stories.
Y'all guys have been to Amsterdam.
The United States is the new Amsterdam.
It is. The funny thing is, and it's not so funny, but it's funny at the same time, is that they're systematically like destroying the country, and they're doing it in such a brazen way that people don't see it. That's the thing that's amazing about it, is they're doing it so openly that people are still like, y'all are still walking around. I'd be like, what?
That's the blissfully unaware.
I'm sorry. I hate to laugh. I'm
Ignorance
sorry.
is bliss.
I get it. I've been there. You've been there.
Yes.
I get it.
For sure.
It's frustrating, but we're with y'all. And we're gonna come out of this together, because at the end of the day, the goal of this podcast is to help wake and enlighten people and wake them up to what's really going on out here, because almost everything that they're telling you is false. Almost everything. They drop little bits of truth in there, here and there.
That's why it is called Tell-Lie Vision.
Tell-Lie Vision. There you go. Are y'all still watching TV?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Turn off your cable, guys. It'll change your life.
With that being said, we're bumping up against the time. I hope everybody had a great time listening to us ramble today. Like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. We love the support, guys. Hey, man, it's already beyond my wildest dreams what we're doing here, but we're inspired to do it, and we're going to keep doing it. We're not going to stop, because we can. You got anything to say? for a wrap up? She's speechless.
Something.
She's over here like, I can't say anything else.
Something.
We appreciate you. We love you guys. We'll see you next time. We're out.